Hi, welcome. Simon here, and I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll be replacing the iPhone 6 screen as well as the battery, and let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is to remove the two screws here at the bottom. I'll be using a Pentalobe P2. Once the two screws are removed, using a metal prying tool, I'll stick it in between the screen and the iPhone. Kind of run around the phone across or around the edge of the phone is to cut the adhesive, because the phone does have the double-sided tape to prevent the dust or any water that get into it. So to open up the screen, we need to cut that adhesive up. Okay, for iPhone 6, you want to lift it straight up. This is the home button. I'm going to lift it up like so. And we're going to use a Phillips screwdriver and remove 5 of the screws. The screws are not the same size, so when you remove the screws, you want to make sure that you know where to put them back together. So as you remove the screws, you might want to lay them down on a table the way that it can go back together. Remove the bracket, get a plastic prying tool, and go ahead and disconnect the cables. So there are 4 cables. They're just like Lego. They snap onto it. To remove it, you just got to pry it open. And the 2 more screws here holding down the bracket where you can get to the battery. Since we already disconnected the cable, we can remove the battery. It looks like the phone battery was already been replaced in the past. You can see that the tape is not underneath, so therefore I can't really show it to you exactly the original battery, how to remove it, but I can explain it to you. Is that they do have this little tape here at the bottom. You need to pull the tape out to get it removed. But for this, the battery seems to be already replaced before, so I'm just going to pry it open like such. Just be careful at the very bottom. Okay, so that's how I remove the battery. Okay, here's the new replacement battery. I'll be using a double-sided tape. This tape here is just to hold it down. I'm going to fold it in a little bit. What I like to do is to connect the battery first and then reposition the battery and press it in so that the tape would tape it down in a way that I have enough gap. You need to have some space here, alright, for the screen to go in, as well as some space here at the bottom. Now once the thing is in, I just go ahead and disconnect the battery. Back to the screen replacement. We need to transfer the ear speaker, the camera, the home button to the new screen. Using a Phillips screwdriver, I'll remove these 2 screws, holding down the bracket. Let's get to the home button here. You got to be very careful with the flex cable. There's a little tape underneath there, so to remove it, you need to remove it as a one piece together. Okay, this is where I need to remove the entire piece here. What you can do is, now you want to be, it's a lot easier for me to remove this, because I need to remove that piece of a plastic here. This is the ear guard for the ear speaker. That is the cover. So this is the one that we need to save, to transfer, not this here. Okay, the next step is to remove the back plate. And this is where you want to be very careful, because the tape here is still holding it down. So we're going to go underneath and remove it as entirely, just like that. Okay, once that is done, I'm transferring it over here. Just transfer all the screws back, holding down the back plate. It looks like I was having a bit of alignment issue. The back plate isn't aligned to the other side of the cover, so I need to loosen up all the screws and then reposition again and tighten it up. Okay, once that is done, remove this tape here. So pretty much it's a reverse process at this point. I just installed the speaker together with the front camera. All you have to do is just realign them back together in a position and just close it back in. For the home button, you would have to put it here through the front, right, from the back, and then make sure you close it down, that little clipper, the flex cable. Just like Lego, you snap back on together. Okay, to install the flex cable, all I have to do is to position them just like Lego, making sure that they're all the way sitting correctly, and then you just have to gently press it down, and that would just install very easily. Reconnect the battery. Have to bracket back on top of here. There are 5 screws in total, holding down the top bracket, which is holding down all the flex cable for the speakers and whatnot. And then there are 2 screws holding down the battery connector. Okay, I'll just align the one on the top, slide it in, Going to slide it in from the top first, and then go ahead and press it down on every corner. Once the screen is sitting flat, remember the 2 screws at the very bottom. Slide it in using a pentaloop P2. Pentaloop P2, and put the 2 screws back together. Alright, that should be it. And then plug in the charger, charge it for at least 4 hours, and that should be it. Thanks for watching.